Thank you for joining. Happy Sunday. Thank you. Thank you for the like. How are you doing? Karen, how are you doing today? I'm fine, Karen. Thank you guys for joining. Happy Sunday. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing, guys? I'm also fine, Karen. Did your power come back? Did your power come back? Thank you. Thank you. I'm also fine. I'm also fine. Ilirudi saa isharudi saa hii. Hata hata naona nikianza kuamka 3 a.m. Wow, Karen, 3 a.m. to go live or to do what? Imagine, guys, Karen is saying that she's going to wake up at 3 a.m. guys. 3 a.m. Wow. To live stream ndio ikipotea nimefanya kitu. That's so great, Karen. That's so great. Wow, 3 a.m. That's a lot of dedication, eh? to live stream ndio ikipotea niwe nime. Wow, that's so good. A lot of dedication there. A lot of dedication there. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining today. It's on Saturday, guys, and we have a very critical topic. Is modern religion overtaking over our faith? That's a question. You believe that our modern religion is taking over our faith? Let me know. If it's not taking, let me know, guys, and I'm going to appreciate. Also, guys, in our poll, you can make a choice, between religion and faith. Where do you lie? Between religion and faith, where do you lie? Oh, I think I didn't type the entire thing. Let me just repeat that. Sorry for that, guys. Sorry for that. Between the region. I think now I have put it the correct way. Is it a religion? B, is it faith? It's always good to collect if you see some. The other one, between religion and faith, which is supreme to you? I think that sounds so better. Yeah, Karen, I agree. Endelea kujaribu. That's our slogan. That's our African slogan. Yeah. Anytime that you really want to do something, and maybe you really want to understand how you are moving on, as long as you put some effort, you just say, you know what, it's all about trying. So now Karen is at that point. She's trying. Karen, I always tell you one time that things are going to be better. That has always been my convict. You can never work so hard for something and then at the end of the day it's not working. I believe that one time, so I can cry in Ferrari. Thank you so much for voting. Let us see the first one. Karen, you'll never even cry in Ferrari. No, you know that you cry because the Ferrari is not yours. But now, for your case, you are working so that Ferrari can be yours. So that's now the advantage that you have. In fact, you'll have what we may call double, double blessings, because one, you'll have a Ferrari, and two, you are going to have happiness. That's the thing. That's the reason why you are working so hard. So for your case, it will be a different one. So you'll have you are working so hard, you are toiling and moiling, but at the end of the day, once you have now that Ferrari, you'll always be appreciating your hard work. Hard work pays, but we need smart strategy. Yeah, that's the thing. Kuna mtu alisema comment hivi, you have cried in Ferrari, leo bwana anamchapa. Yeah, Karen, I agree. We tend to view life from very different perspectives. There are those ladies that are so persuaded, especially when a man has something, and it's life, and there is nothing that we can do about that. So they opt to have people have been loving after her. At the end of the day, there are those girls that always say, as long as he has everything, as long as he has money, as long as, I'm good to go. It doesn't matter if I'm going to be depressed. It doesn't matter if he's cheating. It doesn't matter if he has been beating me. As long as I can be able to drive, as long as he can take care of me, then I'm good to go. We have that category of girls who believe that that's the right direction to go. But we have some other categories of girls who always believe, I believe if maybe we can start with this partner, maybe from point zero, growing upward, maybe one day, one time, we are going to reach there. She was the eighth wife. You see now where I'm saying, yeah, those are the girls that are so infatuated with property and material things, you know. And I always understand them at some point in life because we have been created differently. Yeah, there are those girls who always understand the art of hustling and moiling, and then at the end of the day, they make something out of their lives. But we have other categories of ladies who really, they were just created just to be there, yani watu hawana huruma. The reason why I think we talked about this issue, why sometimes we people, we are lacking what we are calling empathy. One, you find that those people that are not empathetic, always have some challenges that they are really facing in life. So like they can really mock you up. Yeah, free things always comes with a price. That's the thing, Karen. Because at the end of the day, you never made the entire property, but you really want to enjoy the entire thing. And then the price now is what now we are saying, the aftermath. Yeah, that's the reason why maybe party with that mzee, she lives in a more comfortable, better life than the eighth or maybe she lives in a better, comfortable life compared to the other wives. Yeah, I think that should be the easiest things even to say. Tends to teach us. There are those that love those free things, but at the end of the day, if you love free things, then there is a price to pay, and that's given. Yeah, there are those that really believe that I think it's my chance and my time also to create. She's married to a senator. Yeah, a lot of stress. I can understand her with a lot of stress. I think on her side, what she really saw, she didn't see what I may term to be a potential husband, but I think she really loved what we may call the sponsored life. And once maybe you are in a kind of an arrangement where you really want to be sponsored everything, you are given money, your nails are done as a girl, you are taken to the best salon, you are driving maybe one of the best vehicles allowed. Then at the end of the day, a lot comes with a lot of akimdivorce hakuna kitu atapata. I don't think that the girl is also so stupid on her side, though there are those that are really not very keen. As I told you, she left potential and chose money. That's the thing. Maybe she never thought there was a point whereby maybe she's going just to sit down and people would have laughed at her. That is so sad. But at the end of the day, as I have said, that's nature. There are those girls that really believe that if I get someone who has already settled, someone who has a lot of money, property, and the stuff, then I'm good to go. But at the end of the day, the psychological trauma kind of a thing is now where we have the story. Yeah, I have seen a lot of politicians who have died, but at the end of the day, so many wives, they just come during the burial day and they just say, you know what, he was also my husband and this is his son or her daughter. Anavumilia to violence. Yeah, most of the time, one, as I said, as maybe if you choose that course in life whereby maybe you want easy things, at the end of the day, you are also going to handle a lot of psychological form of torture. Yeah. So what she is now experiencing, I think, is torture. Yeah. because mentally she'll never be stable. Anytime, any day, she just thinks of how maybe the husband is treating him. Things will never be the same. Things will never be the same. And Hase Die, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining. Let's like the live, guys. Let's like the live. And I'm going to appreciate if you haven't subscribed, guys. Kindly do so, and I'm going to appreciate. Because her mom does not seem like she cares. Thank you so much for voting. Karen, I agree with you. I agree with you. When we really go for free things at the end of the day, we will be tormented. We will be tormented, and we are going to face a lot of struggles. A lot of struggles. Yeah, very true, Karen. Most of the time, wow, this one is now getting very interesting, eh? Mr. Proman, hello, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? Between religion and faith, which one is supreme to you? Wow. Thank you so much, guys, for Mr. Proman is from Russia. How is Russia? How is Russia? Thank you, guys, also for so many likes. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate with a lot of love. How is Russia? Yeah, Karen, so totally I agree with you. At the end of the day, the girl is very, very traumatized. She went for free things, but ultimately, as we are saying, she has a praise from man. And thank you so much for always joining. Wow, I appreciate. Thank you so much, and everyone else. Yeah, Karen, I have always seen people going for free things, but at the end of the day, they don't recognize the price that comes with those free things. There was a documentary that I was watching, and someone was saying, if you win a lottery, that's a form of a bad omen, because it's more of a free thing, yeah. But if you work towards maybe getting the same amount that maybe you'd have earned when you have won a lottery, uh, then at the end of the day, that amount might be very, very sustainable because you understand the process of building that wealth. Sina kuja pia na madhara. Of course, yeah. You are mistreated in public. You are name called, all forms of names. You are mistreated, you are beaten, you are told that maybe you are the most, all those bad names, all that type of name calling. It all happens because at the end of the day, there is no amount of value maybe you are adding to this person. That's now the challenge. That's where now we have the challenge when it comes to free things. But for those who work maybe as a team, as a way maybe of building wealth and something of stuff, the level of kudharauriwa, that level, that who is supreme than who, the difference, the gap is very, very narrow, and sometimes you can't even realize it. But wait until maybe you are having maybe your wife or your husband is the key, yeah, is the key financier in the entire arithmetic. It comes with a lot of challenges. I learned vile mtu aliniambia nirudishe t-shirt in public. Oh, nimrudishie. Oh, so Karen, someone had given you a t-shirt, and then maybe you separated and that person told you to return that t-shirt. Wow, that one might be very, very amazing, eh? That's now the level of, how can I say it? That's the worst, yeah? He had, that one might be very, very hilarious, eh? That one is very, very, how can I say it? Very, very demeaning. And he is saying that in the public domain. You just feel, wow, you mean he hated me this much to an extent he can tell me to remove what I had wore because we have just separated. That one is very, very serious. Though Karen, I have seen what they call the street sanitization. It also do happen. Yeah, it also do happen. Maybe a girl was bought a phone. Kuanzia hiyo siku vitu za bure niliachana nazo. Of course, I also saw that I also frequently see that in the sanitization thing, the street sanitization. You just find that maybe someone is just there and maybe she has cheated, and then at the end of the day, the man just because that what that lady is wearing is what the man really worked for and bought it for her. Some of them, some of them are even removed their wigs. You see, your wig is removed. Maybe your shoes are taken off, and your phone is taken off, and you can see the entire drama. Yeah, free things comes with a cost. Karen, I agree. Free things comes with a, yeah, of course. Most people are cheating via their phones. Most people are cheating via their phones. So na mwenye niliona akitolewa in a way other ways. Wow, that was very, very extreme. Yeah, that was very, very extreme. You can see now the level of humiliation. Yeah, you can see the level of humiliation in the public domain. That is so long. That one is very, very wrong. But you see, supposing that guy or that lady really worked to have what the other person is demanding, I think life even becomes more sweet. Because sometimes I just feel bad, especially when I see maybe a young person who is maybe depending on the other, and then at the end of the day, it's like a couple. Imagine in this situation whereby maybe you are a family and maybe your husband was your brother, and let's say tragically this guy just dies. Yeah, you see, at the end of the day, what really happens? The lady is always under a lot of stress. There are kids here to be brought up. At the end of the day, you don't have the breadwinner. You don't even understand how to hustle, and maybe you have some key. Yeah, of course, Karen, I agree. There are some humiliations that are not worth. Some humiliations are so extreme to an extent that you just feel that I think it's enough. I just think it's enough. Very true. Very, very true. So I agree there is need for us to be dependent. Yeah, and also to understand on how maybe we can be able to make an earning or to make a living, because if you understand the entire art, this one is not about education, it's just an art. Yeah, if we understand on how maybe we can be able to earn or to earn a living just by any form of a job that we do, I think even life becomes more sweet, because at the end of the day, maybe you have that 100 shillings, that $10 or $5, and you just feel proud. You just feel proud that maybe you can be able to do some of the basic things just for yourselves, and you just feel that you are very, very okay. You just feel that you are very, very okay. But most people, I don't know what is really, really happening, even to the young men. Yeah, they are looking for these ladies that the sugar mummies. The sugar mummies. Yeah, just find that even young guys are really looking uh, for sugar mummies in the name of maybe to be sponsored in their lives. Yeah, there is need for us to understand maybe on how we can make an earning, and once we maybe have the skill, I think it really becomes so sweet, because at the end of the day you are not going to depend so much on that parent, you are not going to depend so much on your husband, you are not going to depend so much on your brother or your sister, or even in your fiancé, you know. And this gives you now the freedom of always saying, of course, Kale, and I agree, of course, even if things are not working, just try so many skills. Yeah, try so many skills. And then the good thing about life and what I have come to learn, not all things that really requires education for you to survive. No, there are some things that you just do, and then at the end of the day you just have your daily bread. Yeah. But I have come to realize that we live in a generation whereby people really want to have everything as a package, you know. And at the end of the day, they don't even appreciate how on the process of really getting what they desire. And you know, in the process, everything now just becomes so crazy, to an extent that maybe you are looking for a sponsor, others are looking for sugar mummies, eh? And you can understand how now life will be terrible one day, one time, on their side. All things hutumiwa vibaya just because they can't afford pads. Very true, very true. You see now, they are so. You see now they are in this form of a hopeless situation, whereby maybe you just need it, but since you cannot afford, or since even your parent cannot just afford, maybe you have to rely on a man for him maybe to give you something of sort. So sometimes it's just good to, you know, to just have that kind of an understanding on maybe how you can be able to just do, you know, to just make an earning or a living. Wow, guys, this is interesting, between religion and faith. Which one is supreme to you? And I can see, and one thing that I appreciate, it has said that this is a complex and very subjective questions, and it all depends with one perspective. Yeah, we cannot say that religion is supreme, that religion that is more supreme than faith, or the other way around. I think that's a very very complex thing. Yeah, neither of them is you know, is supreme than the other. However, guys, there is need for us to, you know, to understand that when we talk about faith, this is something that is a little bit more personal. This is something that also creates what we may call the internal foundation. Whereas when we talk about, you know, religion, this one is more organized in terms of maybe community. You know, it is something that is built from a wide or from a large perspective. So it's always good to, you know, to understand the difference, that when we are really talking about maybe faith, we are really talking about something that is more personal and something that can be internalized, unlike religion, which has maybe its foundation, you know, foundation maybe from the external world. And therefore it's credible to, you know, and therefore it's credible to say that when we talk about faith, we are really talking about, you know, that individual belief, yeah, and trust. Whereas when we talk about the religion, we are really talking about the shared practices, you know, rituals and traditions that express on how we exercise our faith. You know, at the end of the day, both of them are overlapping. That's the thing. Both of them are overlapping. And therefore, we can say that I think they are complementary in such a way that for you to have faith, you must have religion. That's now the secret. And for you to, for you to have religion, you must have faith. No? Yeah. So one can exist without the other, and both are seen necessary for a complete spiritual life. That's very true. And religion without faith is often viewed to be empty, while faith without religion is always seems to be directionless. So if you are maybe in a religion, and that religion maybe it does not have the system of faith, then we can say that your religion is directionless. And if on the same side you have religion without faith, maybe you have a religion but it does not have faith, you can say that is an empty religion. And if you have faith and maybe you don't have religion, then we can say that maybe you are directionless. You don't have on the direction that you are really forcing, the direction that you are really embracing. So guys, as we have said, faith is very personal and private. That's the good thing with it. Faith is very personal, very personal, you know, in such a way that it really creates a system whereby you just have that kind of a trust. You have what we may call your conviction, and at the end of the day, you have what we may call your personal system. Yeah, that's how faith should be viewed. And I have seen so many people, that very convicted, and so personal and very private. That's the essence of faith. And which is very personal thing. I was saying that I have seen people, I have always encountered people that have been very serious when it comes to the aspect of faith. This is where you just find that even some of them, yeah, they really go deep in the essence of embracing their faith, to an extent where they really fast, they really, they do anything as long as their faith is not compromised, you know. And I really love those people that really embraces on what we may say that they embrace on faith. Even though those guys, even in situations when those guys are sick, they always put their faith at the peak. They always put their faith at the maximum. Yeah, they always believe that even if I'm sick, at the end of the day, I'm going to be healed. They have that kind of a strong conviction. Yeah, they have that kind of a strong conviction from inside, and they always say, you know what, I believe that through my faith, that even this mountain, yeah, or this situation is going to change. So faith is something that is very personal, and I think and I believe that maybe having that kind of a personal conviction, I think it's a very good thing, especially in this modern world where we are facing a lot of issues, a lot of issues that really requires us, yeah, to be very to be very deep in faith. So that one is very important. The other aspect that is linked with faith Faith is something also that is internal and something that is dynamic. This is where you always realize that if you have faith, you keep changing with time. That's the kind of dynamic that you are saying. And it also gives you what we may call an essence of freedom, empowerment, and continuous growth. That's the good thing with faith. So you keep on growing. I have seen people, especially those that really embrace on their faith. Maybe it's a guy who has maybe completed his or her education, and through their faith, because they believe that their faith can work, they always tell you, you know what, I believe that I'm going to get employed. And through their faith, things do happen. So at the end of the day, you just find that they are growing by time, by time, by time, by time, by time. That's the essence of faith. So if maybe you have that kind of an inner faith, for you to grow, I think it's one of the easiest things that you can realize maybe in your lifetime. And in the process of growing, you also feel that you are very, very empowered. The other attribute of faith is all about trust. You trust the process. I really love those Christians that have what we may call the strong conviction in their faith. Yeah, some of them, as I have said, even when they are sick, they just trust the process. They always say, you know what, I'm sick, but I'm going to take the medicine. But through my faith, I know and I'm convicted that I'm going to complete the journey. You know, that's the that's the kind of that's the beauty. Yeah, that's the beauty of having what we may call having that essence of strong faith. So faith is very, very important, as we have said. It's something that is very, very critical. Very, very critical, especially during these days where we are living in a very, very harsh environment, and environment that keep on changing, economically, socially, as well as politically. On the other hand, as we have said, we cannot say that faith is, on the other hand, so supreme than religion. No, at the end of the day, we have said, if you don't have faith, and maybe you have religion, then we may say that your religion is directional race. Because you must have your religion and it must have some faith. Every religion has some faith, or it has some a system of beliefs. The same thing, if you have faith and you don't have religion, similarly, we might say that having faith and having no religion, uh, we might say that your religion is an empty one. Yeah, because religion without faith is an empty. Thank you guys for the like. Peter, hey everyone, church doctrine and religious dogma have weakened religions. It's spirituality that is on the other level. Yeah, very true, very true. We have a lot of church dogmas. And I agree. Each and every religion comes with its own challenges in terms of its own dogma. Because it's all about the systems, the system of what it's teaching its members. You see. But spirituality, as I agree, holistically, if we look at the spirituality aspect, I think that one is now the entire thing that can give us now that kind of discernment to say that I'm going to focus more on my faith than the religion. But the level that we are, it's all about understanding between religion and faith, which one is supreme. But we are saying you might have your religion, but if you have your religion and it does not embrace any type of faith, we might say that your religion is empty. If you have your faith without religion, then we might say that you are directionless. That's the essence. Thank you, Peter. Then, guys, as we said, we might also say that we should also say that religion, as we have said, is not, faith is not so supreme when we compared to religion, in the context that when we talk about the region, we are really talking about the organized shared values. These are systems of beliefs and practices shared by a group of people. you know and I really love what Peter have said. Like here in Africa, we have a lot of churches. Yeah, you find that this is religion, this is a certain religion, that one is another religion, that another religion. So each and every religion has its own distinctive belief and practices, you see, that are very, very unique. Even though sometimes some of these religions, if you look them critically, they almost tend to overlap in terms of what they teach and know how they apply. So you find that the only difference is maybe the name of their religions. But holistically, if critically maybe you check on these, some of them, you just find almost they are really, really practicing on just just like a kind of a corrective kind of a belief. So religion is there, and holistically, if we talk about it, is all about the entire belief and practices shared by people that follow it. So each and every religion has its own system of beliefs that its people share. The other thing, as we said, as we talk faith to be something that is more internalized, so religion on the other hand tends to be more external. Religion is more external, and it's something that is structured as a way of providing a framework, for us to do our rituals, for us to express our traditions, for us to express our faith and our ceremonies. For instance, like the Christian religion, externally our we express our maybe some of the rituals, such as maybe burials through a certain way, which is a little bit different when we compare on how the Muslims do it. On how the Muslim do it. But I think we are having a culture we are having a very new culture that is almost overturning our external belief on how we practice our religion. I saw of a certain burial that had been attended by young people, and shockingly, I just saw that that system that we have been, the system that we have been accustomed to, especially when we perform a burial from a Christian perspective, it it's weekend each and every day. The young people are really overtaken. They are really overtaken on the burial. Yeah, and they really want to perform their own kind of system of belief on how that burial should be performed. I have seen it severally, and I think that's another form of an external kind of a religion that is really, you know, really growing. It's something that is on the progress, and if we are not careful, if religion is not careful, in the next couple of years, the way the system on how we have been doing some of these things, some of these ceremonies, I think it will be very different. Similarly, externally, religion being external and structured, we can also say about the teachings of the Bible. That's the Christian religion. Uh, the Bible, in the Bible, we really focus so much about the do's and the don'ts of the Christians. A lot of biblical scriptures and texts. But if you go to Hindus, and the Buddhists, and maybe the Muslims, they are almost the same as Christians. But the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Rastafarians, and some other religions, uh, you know, their prayers are very, very different. Their scriptures, their scriptures are almost the same, but very, very distinct compared to the scriptures that are projected by the Christians. So that's another thing that you should understand. That's the reason why we are saying that religion is something that is also very, very external, and something that is very, very also structured. The other thing is all about understanding that when we talk about religion, sometimes some religions can be empty, without what we call the internal component of faith. Religion can become a set of empty rituals or a burden of obligations, rules, and guilt. And I think I have already demonstrated on how we are coming up with the empty religions, empty religions. Uh, just like the way I have told you that each and every day we are having some kind of groups, kind of new groups that are emerging each and every day, and you just find that these groups are coming up with their own unique way. Of course, Karen, I'm still here. Of course, sijatoroka, I'm still here, Karen. Especially, yeah, I have just gone for 50 minutes. 10 more minutes to go. Bado sija lost, I'm still here, I'm still here. But today is on Sunday, so today on Sunday, I don't stay for a long period of time. Yes. So now you are going to sleep so that you can wake up at 3 and start your live stream. Wow, that's so good. That's so amazing, eh? That's very, very amazing. So that you can wake up early and start your live stream. If you do it at 3, wow, then you must be very, very strong. You must be very, very strong. Oh, nalala 1. Then you wake up at 3. You just sleep for two good hours. Then you must be very, very strong. You must be very, very strong. Itabidi. Then you must be very, very strong. You must be very, very, very strong. Me, once I sleep, God willing, I just wake up at 6. Yeah, I just wake up at 6. Yeah, 1 hour is enough. 1 hour. 1 hour is never enough for me. 1 hour, I think 1 hour for me is very, very short. 1 hour, no, I can't. Like this week, I have been having a very, very complex week. And you see now next week, I'm also having another complex week. So my body is still tired. My body is still tired. And this is another week to get your body tired once again. Yeah, but we have to keep pushing on with life. We have to keep pushing on with life. That's the essence of life. So guys, as we are saying, you might also have some religion without any form of, you have a lot of rituals, you have a lot of ceremonies, but they don't follow a certain system of religion. I think the young people are really, really coming up with such type of, an empty religion. I just saw them. I have seen them in several occasions. I think I should do it for 42 days. Going live for 42 days at 3 a.m. Why 42 days? Karen, why 42 days? Then for 42 days you must be, yeah, but you can do it. You can do it. No? You just need to be just motivated and then you are good to go. You just need to do it and you are good to go. Hmm? Disemba nafaa kupiga sherehe. Sherehe tena. Which form of sherehe? Karen, which form of sherehe? Yeah, December is coming. December is coming. December is just around the corner. I think from next month, we should be hearing some Decembers in that will be available. Wow, that's so amazing. Wow, that's so amazing. But I hope not drinking. Eh? I hope not drinking. You know, mostly in an African context, when we talk about sherehe, is all about going for an outing, having some good drinks that maybe you haven't drunk for a very long period of time, eh? Or even creating more time, especially when maybe you are employed. But Karen, you are not employed. Now that's the I can't drink. Nishazeeka. Of course. Not even about kuzeeka, but there is need now for us to focus. I think there is now we're in that age where we should now be focusing on maybe having a better future. I think that's the point where we should be. You know, I think for those that are going for sherehe each and every day for dunda and the stuff, I think those are people that maybe they have not really accepted that age is catching up with them. Wow, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. Of course, but I agree there is need for someone just to refresh during holiday session. Sherehe za kukunywa haibabi siku. Of course, Karen, I agree. So many young people are losing of their lives. So many young people are losing of their lives. Yeah, in the name of drinking. A lot of low tragic, you know, a lot of lifestyle diseases, all those things. Yeah, I think there is need for us to focus. Focusing on a better future, I think, should be our call. But Karen, I agree. Hiyo sherehe ni poa, you just relax your mind. Maybe you take some day for an outing. Yeah. I have seen it made so many young people. And when I talk about young people, including ladies, yeah, like where I stay, I always see very, very young ladies, drinking each and every day, and they are drinking the hard drinks, just like the men, you know. For me, it's all about food and me. That one I think I'm also in that category. You know, I love eating. I love eating, especially during the holidays. Yeah, and meeting. I believe meeting new people is such a very good vibe. Yeah, meeting good people is such a very good vibe. And I also love traveling. So during December and the stuff is all about doing that thing, traveling, meeting new people. I think that's a positive vibe. Alafu mwili za watu hukunywa hukaa vibaya. Of course, those guys, most of them are not taking the balanced diet. Others are not. They are just eaten as a reminder that they have to eat. And when they take those hard drinks, most of them, they can never be resourceful. You know, at the end of the day, they just take them during the morning hours, and they will stay that way until jioni. And when jioni they get maybe another 20 shillings, of course. Yeah, there are very few people, ni watu tu wachache sana, those that you can see that they are healthy. But and one thing that is really shocking me is that those hard drinks, even the high school, those guys that have just that they those guys that have just completed high school, they are also joining those clubs. And then at the end of the day, things becomes very, very, very tough. Yeah, things become very, very tough. Yeah, problem breakfast. Yeah, very bad indeed, very, very bad indeed. Huh? Very bad indeed. I think we have a problem. And it's a problem that we need to resolve, especially when we come to access of those hard drugs. Because I'm seeing even young girls, young ladies, potential wives. You see now where the problem is. Potential wives. They are also there drinking like no one's business. Karen, imagine potential wives. Yeah? Potential good girls. They are there joining those men that have been there drinking. I think there is an issue. I think we have what we call a different form of thinking in our modern society. That's so long. That's very, very long. Mm? Very, very long. So guys, as we have said, religion, as we said, sometimes it can be empty, especially when you see a religion that has some form of rules and regulations, burden of obligations, as well as a set of beliefs, set of empty rituals. That one we can term it to be an empty religion. So, is there any relationship between faith and religion? I would say yes, because both of them, they require what we call, faith requires you to have what we may call a robust religion. That's the thing, yeah? So for you to have faith, you must have religion. And for your faith to exist, then you must have your background religion. So that one is also very, very critical. And then in terms of supremacy, we have said that both of them, there is none that is supreme than the other. So guys, I think that's where today I'm going to put my full stop. As we have said, we all ought to appreciate that even if I'm in a certain religion, then it should be the one that should create my faith, and my faith should also be guided by my religion. That's the thing. That's the simplest term in which religion overlaps in which religion overlaps faith. So faith and religion, they work hand in hand. So guys, today we had a very, very simple poll between religion and faith. Which one is supreme to you? And 67% are saying religion, and that 3% are saying faith. I guess those that are the higher number are saying religion because, one, I believe religion mainly forms the foundation or the basis for us to create our faith. it can be argued that way, and that 3% are saying faith, because I believe maybe they have what we may call strong conviction, as we have said, which is very, very important. So guys, let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. May you have a great night with a lot of love. Thank you always, guys, for always joining and for always supporting.